Josh, we got to react just for you. The huge new pirate software drama update. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, dude. No, not the YouTube Shorts guy. No. Yo, YouTube Frogs watching After the Fact. Thanks so much for being here, dude. If you enjoy your stay, feel free to drop a like and a sub. It would be greatly appreciated. Original video from our GOAT, Pyro Live, will be, well, maybe I won't say GOAT because, you know, but one of the GOATs, Pyro Live, will be linked right below. And Pyro Live, his channel, will be right underneath that, dude. And right below that will be my Twitch stream. If you want to come over, catch me playing some games, doing some reacts, just hanging out, talking to chat. That would be awesome, man. I'm also doing a subathon. This video may get uploaded while it's still happening. We obviously have a lot of time going on, and I'm pausing when I sleep. So, pausing the timer when I sleep. So, you know, feel free to swing by, dude. Third link in the description. So sorry if I annoy you and make you hate me. But, you know, honestly, let me know in the comments. That would be epic. What else do I have to say? Oh, I pause a lot, and I talk to chat the whole time. I talk to my twos of viewers, so, yeah. Is this guy not over Warcraft yet? Wait, who? Pirate Software? Oh my god. Oh my god. I stress buy? Oh, that's fair, dude. I stress watch YouTube reacts. Yeah. Or I stress do YouTube reacts. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jason Thor Hall, also known as Pirate Software Online.
We just want there to be prohibit publishers from disabling a game that you paid for.
Ubisoft shut down the game's servers, rendering the game unplayable, which is normal for live service games.
What? Wait, there is no way that Pirate Software is about to defend Ubisoft. There's no way. Oh, nah, dude. See, this just proves you don't know people, bro. You cannot make people your idols like that. Okay, or you at least gotta be prepared in the back of your head that they could turn on you at any moment. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, he worked for Blizzard. Yeah, dude, that's insane. Okay, let's get into it. That's crazy though. I'm already dumbfounded.
Changed what we were saying the initiative is about, and he completely made up saying that it was about trying to protect single-player games. So that is an advanced tactic that he pulled.
Pirate Software is a creator that is no stranger to controversy. I actually did a video on him quite a while ago talking about this huge drama he was involved in. But recently...
Yo, if my video does like 1% of that video, oh, chat, oh, we're going to Taco Bell, baby! My bad. I'm so sorry. That's what I'm here for, though. Personal gain and to react to stuff because it's fun. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what the neuron in my brain. I know it's gonna like happen, like it happened with indie games. Eventually, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm done with that, or like I don't want to do that as much. We'll do it a little bit. But right now, the neurons in my brain are activating whenever I'm like, ooh, let's do a react. Ooh, you know. So sorry. Sue me. Okay, anyways.
Unfortunately, he's found himself in some more drama regarding the movement Stop Killing Games. I do want to say as well, the merch shop is now open, so if you want to grab yourself some exclusive limited time merch, especially from the new Server Blight video on the main channel, the link is in the description or on screen. Now, there's
that's such a good idea, dude. Making the whole, like working a while for an amazing video and then making some really sick merch that doesn't even, like this is what I've been thinking about for my own merch, and this is for like any content creators out there. Make merch that isn't like, if somebody wants to wear it, they want to wear it because it's cool or like fits a vibe that they're going for, right? Not because it like says your name on it. That's been my mistake with merch for forever, right? Is that I've been making like my name or whatever. So that's why I've been trying to like branch out and make stuff. Like if I have ideas for merch, I just like go and make it, and then I put it on the merch store. Shout out freaking Fourth Wall. But yeah, that's sick, dude. That is so cool. Maybe we'll do that with my Skyrim challenges.
More scummy than any kind of crypto shiller, and that usually is a video game company. So you might have noticed with video games, there has been a very fast escalation to try to make as much money out of you as possible. We don't really have new games anymore. We've got remakes, remasters, but more importantly, loot boxes, in-game transactions. And one of my personal favorite things now, for some reason, you pay like $100 to basically be able to play the game 2 days before everyone else can play it. I call that a streamer tax. I will die on that hill.
Yes.
But genuinely, that is one of the most stupid things imaginable,
Yes.
especially because, you know, like, let's go back 5-10 years ago. Special editions, deluxe editions, usually got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, yeah, okay, there were skins. There were always skins. Look at Oblivion with its horse armor. That was always the thing. Fair enough. But now it really shows that companies like Blizzard and EA, they are just so obsessed with turning a profit and making as much money as possible while probably innovating as little as possible as well. I know
Yes.
I'm naming the big names here, but there are so many gaming companies out there that do not want to innovate. They wish they could just get you as like a little rat running on a wheel over and over, squeezing that dopamine out of you without having to actually do anything. And you keep handing over your credit card to buy some in-game currency every single time. Now, I have heard of the...
It's literally like the state of movies right now. Is like they don't want to do like, or most of these studios don't want to do like something that's like, oh, gonna push boundaries or like be creative or like try new things. They just want to do whatever will make the most money, whatever will get the most people in the theater, whatever will, you know, sell the most merch. Like that's what they're gonna do, and that's why Disney like is milking the hell out of Marvel and Star Wars. Even, you know, Star Wars less like big screen, but a lot on series, you know, on Disney Plus. Yeah, that's why there has been so many shit horror movies. Well, the other thing about horror, dude, is like horror people don't even care, or I won't say that. I'll say like general horror enjoyers can be like, if you just have a decent story, you know, and some good scares of some kind, or like, you know, something that makes you go, ooh, then you got them, dude. So I feel like, you know, now people, you know, they'll just take shots in the dark to be like, maybe this will stick. But yeah, dude, I feel that. I hope Disney stops making shit live action remake movies. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing, dude. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the Disney live action remakes, so I don't have an opinion on it, though.
The buzzword stop killing games, but I never really looked into it too much. But it seems to be the main focus behind it, of kind of like sticking it to the man and trying to stop these huge monolithic companies just doing whatever they want.
I did
but
Epic,
despite
yeah.
the intentions sounding quite noble, not everyone is actually on board with it, especially one of the streamers, Pirate Software. Now, Stop Killing Games, or the acronym SKG, is actually an initiative.
Why would he not be on board with preserving games and making these companies let you keep your game forever, not rent it from them? Feel so bad for him. Yeah, dude, he put out a Twitter video today. I haven't watched it yet. I actually saved it to do like watch with chat if we really are trying to get into it. I think the early ones were great, like Lion King and stuff. Now it's just horrid. Yeah, dude, I'd have to watch it myself to really, you know, have a full-on opinion about it.
Set up and spearheaded by the YouTuber Accursed Farms. If you know the channel Accursed Farms, you are a certified old head. If you don't, he's known for this incredibly long-running machinima series called Freeman's Mind. The first episode came out 11 years ago, and it's basically just a playthrough of Half-Life 1, but Accursed Farms narrates over it in the perspective of Gordon Freeman.
Oh, God. What I do? What I do?
From the shutting down.
Oh, no. We are bad people. Oh, shit. That's the ceiling. Where's my helmet? No. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Counter-Strike came from here. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Aliens aren't invading, Freeman. You're just being paranoid.
Now, the video series that I know him from is Ross's Game Dungeon, and this was basically where he would play a game and do a full breakdown of it, the mechanics, the story, almost like kind of a narrated playthrough. He actually did a really good video on Deus Ex, and that was 8 years ago. Oh my God, we're all so old. He did a Game Dungeon on Deus.
We are so old, dude. We really are. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm 37 this year.
Deus Ex Human Revolution, and also Deus Ex Invisible War, the console one that everyone absolutely hates. I mean, I swear, like, I remember playing Deus Ex Invisible War as a kid. I did not have a problem with that game. I thought it was really cool, but I was also like...
Yeah, dude, I think you got gifted one from Dorian, the new homie Dorian up there in chat, dude. Shout out again, Dorian, for gifting the subs, bro. Oh, you were in the shower. Real, dude. Me and showers for real. I'll be there way too long.
12 years old, and at that age you're basically impressed by anything. So basically Accursed Farms started this movement, Stop Killing Games. He was the one to establish it. I mean, a lot of people have been feeling like this for a long time, but he was the first person to actually give a title to the movement. So the entire point of Stop Killing Games, as Accursed Farm quotes, a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video.
Oh, Dorian, I was just saying, I think your gifted subs, one of them was to Epics over there, because it randomly picks just like people in chat and stuff. So I think he got one of the ones that you gifted, dude. Thank you so much again for those subs, by the way, brother. And the bits, dude. And for hanging, man.
Games that they have sold to customers. Now, the Stop Killing Games movement did actually get quite a lot of traction. At the minute, the European Citizens Initiative alone has nearly 500,000 signatures. And that is an insane movement, because if you go onto Accursed Farms channel, you can tell that he's not really a huge YouTuber, especially not anymore. But still, he has created something, a movement that is a lot bigger than him, because a lot of people support this. They think that companies, especially in the gaming industry, became really greedy and just want to maximize profit while giving you as little content as possible. You know, why try to give you better experiences when, for example, there's like item stores and shops?
Chris, my GF is worried because I want body mods, and she doesn't fuck with it. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't have a silicone spider under my skin? What? You want you want a silicone spider under your skin? That's crazy, bro. You gotta tell her to lock in, though. What's lurk? Lurk basically just means that you have the stream up, but you're not like actively there typing. I'm just so sick of where gaming has gone. Like, I really want the Switch too, but I don't think I could legit get it. $80 per game is too much on top of the $500 console. That's why I'm thinking of getting another handheld that I could just stream games from, like $200 max. Yeah, dude, like, I feel like the more that the consoles push, right, and these games push, the more it just makes sense to save up and buy a PC, right? Because there's so much you can do, obviously, with a PC, right? You can, like, make it make sense for, like, video editing or, like, photo editing or doing, you know, game design. Like, there's so many different things. That's just, like, off the top of my head that I can think of, right? Plus, you can play games and buy a bunch of games for cheap, and you can emulate games and stuff like that. Like, there's just so much you can do with a computer compared to, like, a Switch. Unless you're trying to buy, you know, the exclusives. Which for Sony, you know, isn't even a thing anymore. Xbox, obviously, isn't a thing. Plus, there's Game Pass on PC if you're trying to go that route, you know? Spider under, like, the palm of your hand? Really? Under the, like, oh, nah, dude, I don't think I could do that. Chris, yeah, what's up, Dorian?
Shops that are just churning out new skins for you to buy to feel special every 24 hours. Now, that was my little tangent on the side. That's not even the main purpose of Stop Killing Games. The main purpose is actually trying to hold video game companies accountable for basically selling games that have
11/28. I don't know when 11/28 will be for you because I'm on the East Coast, goat. I'm sorry.
planned obsolescence to try and get you to buy the next title. This is obviously games that have a heavy emphasis on online services, like, for example, Call of Duty, Battlefront, Overwatch. Star Wars Battlefront 2, as you've seen recently, has had a huge player spike, which is really funny because the game is surprisingly competent. It's mostly because, you know, May the 4th and also Andor ended, and apparently that was a pretty good ending. I actually haven't watched Andor. Apparently it's one of the few Star Wars shows that's competent throughout. There is a guy in the show called Kino, so I might actually watch it.
My name is Kino Loy.
The only problem with Star Wars Battlefront 2 at the minute, because it has such a huge player spike, EA don't really care about the game whatsoever, so it is just full to the brim with hackers. But yeah,
so
one of the
like
biggest problems with online services is game companies will bring out a product, and eventually, over time, which is pretty natural, people lose interest, they move on. But this then reaches the point where the owners basically go, you know what, we'll just shut down the entire servers, so now no one gets to play it, even though at the time when the game came out, you probably paid full price for it. One instance I remember of a very popular game actually shutting down its servers was all the way back when Mass Effect 3 came out. We are going back to old head era here.
God.
Mass Effect 3 was basically the first Mass Effect to have any kind of like multiplayer mode. But then they actually enacted something called Sunset Multiplayer, which meant that they were, you know, kind of quietly winding down the servers and you couldn't play the game anymore. Oh no, wait a minute. This was back in 2012. So in fact, the servers for Mass Effect 3 are still up. That Sunset thing I talked about was talking about shutting down the servers for the Wii U on the Nintendo network. So that was basically Nintendo Nintendo's choice, if anything. I believe that you can actually still play Mass Effect multiplayer to this day, despite the fact that the game came out well over 10 years ago. Now, one example that people love to use here about just being completely backhanded by a video game company is Overwatch. If you bought Overwatch day one...
Oh, yeah, that's crazy, by the way. Like, just... When did the original Overwatch come out? When did Overwatch come out? May 24th, 2016. Yeah, I want to say it's 2016. When did Overwatch 2 come out? October. So what? That was 6 years, almost 6.5 years you got, and then they shut it down. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I also want to get my eyes tatted where they put the ink into your eye, bro. You're crazy, dude. I mean, hell yeah, man. Do what makes you happy. I couldn't do that. I'm too much of a wuss. That's why I love emulators so much. I can travel around with the PS2 and GameCube games in my pocket for like $50. Yeah, dude, that's goated. I keep talking about a Steam Deck. That was like my hyperfixation there. See, this would be like, if I had money like that, I would just buy like a Steam Deck, get hyperfixated with that for like a couple weeks, and then I'd get hyperfixated with like a MacBook. I keep talking about getting a MacBook so I can edit on the go really easily and stuff. But yeah, I have to go. Bye. Yo, Dorian, thank you so much for hanging, bro. Thank you again for the gifties. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you, dude. Feel free to stop at any time. Obviously, I'm going to be live for a while as long as my Wi-Fi holds up. And I also go live Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday around 8, 9, 10 p.m.-ish EST, dude. Eastern Standard. And I'm also into like scarification. What does that mean? Break that down for my ass.
You'd be paying around 40 to 60 pounds. For the Americans, that's like about 13 cheeseburgers. And that obviously depends on the version of the game that you got. If you bought the super deluxe special edition where you probably got some gold guns or something, I think you got you got a Widowmaker skin.
Epic, thanks for the alert, brother.
Skin. It's a shame that Widowmaker sucks to play now. Now, also keep in mind as well,
I appreciate you, Dorian.
Overwatch had no single player mode attached to it.
Appreciate you, Dorian. Thank you so much, man. You are a G. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was talking over him. Let me shut up, dude. I went to Five Below years ago, and when it was still just 5 and below, they had a game there called Battleborn. Yes, dude, that looked pretty sick, like shooter game for $5. You know, why not? I got home, put it in, and the servers were offline. Yeah, there was also fun fact, my local game store still sells that game. Dude, is it like Overwatch where it literally doesn't have a story? Basically, you pay to professionally get some of your skin cut off to leave permanent scars. Jeez, okay. Why don't you be a man and accidentally cut your hand with... You can't see it on the screen. With a bow saw while cutting some wood for the winter. Don't do that. That's how I got my only scar. My one and only scar. Actually, I have like kind of a scar on this finger from messing around with guitar strings. I accidentally like pushed it too far into it. Yeah, and now there's a little red speck right here. Yeah, I think it's just online only. That's crazy, bro. So they're selling you a disc that can't even be used.
To play now. Now, also keep in mind as well, the first Overwatch had no single player mode attached to it. It was online only. So less than 10 years in the game being out, unlike Mass Effect 3, Blizzard decided to shut down the servers. Literally
a little over 6 years. Are you kidding me? So you're paying $10 a year? I mean, that's not a horrible subscription, but if you bought skins, right? But they carried over, so I guess that's kind of fair, right? Didn't they? Right? Am I tripping?
For the game. Now, I get it. Overwatch 2 is free to play. I'm really happy for you. But there are people that spent so many cheeseburgers buying the first Overwatch. Yeah. And they basically have nothing to show for it apart from, oh my God, wow, bro, he's got this skin that you can get 8 years ago and you can't get now. Oh, you know that the same people that will brag about that and think it was a worthwhile purchase are the people that are trying to hunt down every single skin in the new Doom, the Dark Ages. By the way, I saw this video on YouTube showing off all the skins in the new Doom game. And I thought, wow, this is quite a long video. Surely there's a lot of skins. There aren't. There's like 3 skins you get in the game by playing the game and beating it on different difficulties. The other like 7 or 8 skins are basically from buying graphics cards or buying pizzas. That is not a joke, by the way. It's basically this new wave of marketing that is just terrible for consumers. Like, I get it. Cosmetics, it's amazing. And companies are soy-facing over the fact that we're hooked on it because it's dopamine. I get to stand out in the game. Unless everyone else buys the skin, then I don't stand out. Then I need to wait for the other skin to drop so I can stand out again. And now everyone else has bought the skin. It is just a self-fulfilling prophecy. I still remember when like the Mrs. Incredible skin dropped for Fortnite. Every little Zoomie was buying that game just because she had a fat ass. I mean, if you want to become really, really cynical, get it? I said the word, get it? You don't really own anything, you know, like for example, when you go onto Amazon or you go onto a streaming service, like you stream a show, you buy a film from Amazon, you're not buying it, it's just tied to your account. And if there's any kind of licensing changes or you can't...
No, I am gonna buy Dear Kelly by Andrew Callahan, dude, and it's gonna be mine!
Watch this in your own country. Tough luck. One really good example I have here, talking more about streaming, and I absolutely...
That dead ass is what I will buy if this video does like 2K views and I get a decent ad rev for that. If it's giving me like, you know, $1 or $2 on per 1,000 views. Wait, that would be like $4. If it's giving me like $5 per 1,000 views. Oh yeah, baby. Get me in there. I'm buying that Dear Kelly. Share this video so I can buy Dear Kelly. Heart.
Despise this is, for example, HBO Max. They have some great shows like The Last of Us.
In The Last of
There's
Us.
some other stuff on there as well. But the point is, I can't watch Max unless I basically use a VPN and then log into like a friend's account. And then in the UK, we have Max in the UK, but it's called Now TV, which is owned by Sky, Rupert Murdoch and his like, you know, kind of his children. And they're all from Succession, basically, the cast of Succession. I can watch Max shows through Now TV, but then if I travel to another country, I get region locked to the point.
Joe, what's up, brother? Dude, no worries. Get some good rest, bro. I hope you've been doing amazing. I'm starting to buy DVDs again. I am also going to start ripping them to Plex server so I can stream it on my TV and shit. That's gas. Chris, I will watch The Last of Us without you if we don't watch it soon. Dude, what the freaking Sigma? What the freaking Sigma? I'm working overnight, so not great. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sending you love. I hope that shit gets worked out, brother. Hope that shit gets worked out. Becomes less ass.
Point that even if I have a VPN on, it knows I've got one, so then I can't watch the thing that I've paid for just because I'm getting a flight to another country. It's just really backwards, really anti-consumer. I also remember this one time as well when the 28 Days Later, the zombie film that's getting a...
Fallout? Oh, I actually want to watch that one, so don't do that, dude. No, I want to watch The Last of Us. I'm just like such a bitch when it comes to TV shows. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, are they gonna die? You know? And like, you know, so, you know.
Another sequel pretty soon, 28 years later. Yeah. That recently was changing licensing hands. So 28 days later, you couldn't find it anywhere. You couldn't find it on any streaming service. And that was gone for about 2 to 3 months, I think. You can find it now on like Disney Plus or Amazon and stuff. But there was a point where unless you basically had it as a DVD or you...
Wait, did 28 Days actually come out? I thought it was about to come out. I thought it came out in June. Maybe I lost track of time, dude. Maybe it was like March or something and my old ass forgot. Septum. I don't know what a 00G is, but hell yeah, dude. Literally for years I've been discussing getting a Septum, but I've never went through with it. I'm a wuss.
Pirated it, there is no way that you would be able to watch that film. And I get it, you know, streaming is security, online services are security, but at the same time, that really goes to show that, like, if companies want, or for whatever reason, they can basically just take property away from you that you basically paid for. Now, I get it. Yeah. I'm not gonna be some boomer that's like, well, actually, when 28 Days Later went offline, or when this one game went offline, I had it on disc, I had it on Blu-ray, so I'm actually the alpha. I'm not saying that. I think carrying around plastic to make sure you can actually engage with something is really stupid. Unless you're a collector. That is a different kind of autism I'm not going to get into. Now, I'm doing a bit of a tangent here, but focusing more on the video games. Another example, a couple months ago, Ubisoft actually put out a statement that they shut down online activity for a racing game called The Crew. And then they actually...
Pyrocynical. Using half the video to storytell. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Sorry, my chair just clicked and it sounded like it was about to freaking collapse, dude. 2 seconds. I'll look it up after this video, Jay. Remind me. I got you, goat.
Actually said in the statement, unironically, not even as a bit, players should get comfortable with not owning their games.
Insane!
I've seen a statement that gets like parroted a lot online, kind of semi-sarcastically, basically saying, you will own nothing and be happy. I think we're pretty close to that at the minute.
Yeah.
Now, I know I sound like a bit of a negative Nelly. Maybe this isn't so many games, but the Stop Killing Games movement actually did an investigation of 700 titles that had some form of online requirement for play, and they found out that 40% of these games are just completely dead. No support from the devs, and they are literally unable to be played.
Do you know what game is insane that it's not available anymore on modern hardware? No, I haven't seen the Baby No Money Insta. You know what game's insane that you can't play it anymore? literally not even online anymore, right? Mercenaries 2, World in Flames. I just want to freaking play Mercenaries 2, World in Flames, man. I just want to play Mercenaries. I gotta go through some backwards way to get access to. Are you freaking kidding me, man? You can't just leave it up there? Because it's someone named Dorian from... Yes. Why? If I ever met him IRL, I will call him Onion Boy and never explain the context. He will go home thinking he smells like onions. Oh, our boy Pyro over here? What was I gonna say? Oh my god. Yeah, Mercenaries 2. I can't believe it. Bro, Mercenaries 2, I rented it from like a place where you can rent games and never returned it. Dude, W. That shit was so good. That's one of my favorite childhood games. I mean, I know it's like, you know, just okay or whatever, but I literally have been playing about it, or playing it a good amount since I got it. I love it, dude. Is it part of it's nostalgia? Part of it's just, it's a fun video game as a video game, as Jake Baldino would say. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your white ginger head, buddy. Oh, thanks, Iron King. Heart emoji.
And then another 40% were at risk of being shut down completely. And then only 2% of all of these games that were investigated actually ended up having services that were being supported by the developers using an end-of-life plan, like an actual roadmap. Sounds like I'm talking about someone in a retirement home or something.
Yeah.
And then there was another 14% as well, where the community, the players, have actually managed to keep the game up and running by themselves.
I was going to say, fan preservation is literally... most of this shit. I feel like, you know, it's horrible, but I feel like there are, as long as they don't literally take away your key, your game key, I think fan preservation can make a lot of these games, you know, stay alive. Not all of them, you know, but a lot of these games are lucky enough to have amazing fan bases that will keep them alive, or like cult fan bases.
Which, if anything, reminds me like how Bethesda will release games and then the community basically has to do mod patches for them. I know it's not the same kind of thing. We're talking about online play here, but still, I feel like with video games, there is a huge group of people that take it upon themselves to fix a game when it should not be their responsibility. I respect it. I commend it, but it's just sad the situation we're in now. So what Stop Killing Games and Accursed Farms are trying to do is get as much support as possible through as many online signatures as they can. Will this do anything? I don't know. The problem is it's not like there's a legal requirement here. I know there's some exceptions, like for example with the UK government, if like something gets so many signatures, Parliament has to like at least try to acknowledge it. They don't have to do anything about it. They can just say no. But I think there's like some requirement they have to acknowledge it. With this, it's more of the private sector, so they might just look the other way. I think the problem is the only real way to like make these companies think, wait, we need to change what we're doing, is if people, you know, stop buying video games or stop buying market.
Which people won't do, right? They won't even wait the 2 weeks to do, right? Madden, you know, NBA 2K. These motherfuckers buy it every year. It gets worse and worse. And to be fair, I'm motherfuckers, but I at least wait till the sales happen, okay? I at least wait till the sales happen, right? Well, I mean, I don't buy 2K, but I buy Madden just because I'm like, ugh. Give me the fucking updated weeks of the year. Ugh! Give me the updated weeks of the year. Give me like the slight graphical upgrade. Give me the one new feature in franchise mode. Or like, you know, if it's once every 3 years that I buy it, give me the one new franchise mode upgrade. You know, but yeah, dude, literally, that is how you stop this type of shit, is stop buying these things, which I made the mistake of with Starfield. So honestly, my bad, guys.
Microtransactions in video games, but they're not going to. And I mean, it's really hard to. What's the alternative? Oh yeah, I'm not going to buy video games anymore. Their practices are like really toxic. Instead, I'm going to browse on Reddit. You could also support...
I think he's alluding to literally what I was about to allude to. Oh my gosh, bro.
Indie games as well. Like, for example, I've been playing through this game recently called White Knuckle. It's like a climbing game with horror elements in it. It's really good. Game is very unfair though. 0 out of 10.
Oh.
Anyways, but being serious, if they get enough signatures, they basically could challenge.
But yeah, dude, literally, sorry, indie and AA games are where all my hope for the gaming industry is. I have literally, like, not to be like doom or whatever, half glasses half empty or whatever, But yeah, I literally have no faith in AAA games. If a AAA game comes out and it's reviewed well, or even just people even people just saying it's fun and enjoyable, I'm like, for real? Like literally, like Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2, I was like, holy shit, these are actually really fucking good. What the fuck? But I feel like that's unfair because both those games are probably like generational games, you know what I'm saying? Especially for some people who really, really love those genres. I'm not like a huge fan of either genre, but both of them I was like, holy fuck, these are amazing.
The existing laws that support this practice on the basis of
what is it, 33? Oh my god, what's it called? Oh, I'm blanking on the first part of it. Expedition 33. There's another part to the name. That game, I've also heard, is like absolutely amazing. I gotta play it myself sometime soon.
Consumer hostility, or they could also get enough signatures that the government might have
to
acknowledge this and make some changes. Like, for example, you know, the EU government, they've made some amazing changes. Like, for example, with the iPhone, they now can't use lightning cables. They have to use USB-C. And that's it. That's all I can think of. I don't even use iPhone. I'm just sick and tired of my mate asking me when I'm out with him, oh, do you have a lightning cable with you? It's like, no, I'm on Android. No, I don't. Now, from the sounds of it, their campaign in the signatures is doing really, really well. They actually managed to acquire a citizens initiative with the support garnered, so they could possibly take all of this to the EU, which is basically every country in Europe except the UK. I'm so happy about Brexit. I love it. I love it. If it wasn't for Brexit, I'd probably still be in Sweden right now. What a great law. What a great law. I love Brexit. Thank you for that. Now, if this becomes a requirement for the EU, this could be huge because the EU is basically...
Lame, welcome back in, homie! But yeah, Jay, I've also heard, you know, you have told me, and also other people have told me that Monster Hunter is great as well. So, you know, I haven't lost all hope in AAA, but just a lot of it. Brexit jump scare.
one of the biggest markets for gaming. Mostly because if you're in the UK, you probably play FIFA or Warzone. And if you're in Germany or Poland, you're racist and you play Counter-Strike. And obviously it's reached a point right now where the government has to step in because private companies, as we've seen in basically any sector in the world, they won't regulate themselves. Why would they do that? Because regulating yourself usually means sacrificing profits. Now, this sounds like a fair request to not actually kill video games, but Parrot Software, who, like I've said before, I've talked about on the channel, he was very against this. So if you know Parrot Software, he is a streamer and a gamer.
Why is he against? I mean, he's gonna get into it, but why? Why even be vocal about this, man? Why even? This is like where somebody doesn't need to input. Well, I mean, wait, hold on. I'm thinking because I'm inputting my opinion when nobody asked. But also, I like don't already have a huge audience that could be upset at me about it, right? If I get a huge audience, bro, I'm about to turn uncontroversial as hell. Or maybe I'll be extra controversial. Maybe I'll be on a warpath. But for me, it doesn't really make sense for, like, looking at Pirate Software, it doesn't really make sense. Like, he's not like an Asmongold type build where his, like, brand is saying, like, crazy stuff. Or not crazy stuff, but, like, you know, making, like, possibly controversial takes, right? His brand is like giving advice on YouTube Shorts, playing video games in one sitting, having a deep voice, and being a quirky guy, right? His brand is not like, I mean, and you know, having insight on games, but why have such a horrible take? If you become famous, private, everything you've ever made, nah, I'll be there. I'll bear it all for them. They can crucify me if they want. They don't... Chucky, if I get canceled for some dumb shit that I said as a teenager or whatever, or if something I said on a React video pisses someone off, then I just get on my right-wing grift. You know what I'm saying? I just get on that, dude. I'm just, oh, yeah, guys, you know what? The woke mind virus. Or I'll get on my Andrew Callahan type shit, and I'll be like, I would realize that it was an abuse of my own opinion, or, you know, how introspectical he is about is that the right word? About everything that happened with him. That's a lot of lore. We can dig into that at some point. Not right now, though, because it's way too much to explain. Introspective. There we go. I feel like there's another, yeah, but introspective. Yeah, that works. Too late. Everything is already on the internet. Someone will dig something up. Exactly, dude. Exactly.
game dev, and he used to work for Blizzard and also Amazon Game Studios, and that was before setting up his own indie dev company. So Pirate Software actually came out with 2 videos basically in opposition of Ross and his entire point of the project. The thing that I know most about Pirate Software is he has the most unprecedented streaming stamina I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude, he's
the guy
crazy.
Streams most days of the week, usually doing 11, 12-hour streams at a time. I just don't understand that stamina. Like, I respect it, dude.
I'm going to be honest. I think there's a decent chance that if I had an editor, right, somebody that would like literally grab the VODs for me and edit while I'm offline, or even be recording while I'm live and grab them and shit, right? And if I could play whatever I want, like Pirate Software does, I think I could do that. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like, I literally do that all the fucking time. I think I could do that. At least like 6 days out of the week. I think I'd have to take like 1 day to breathe, but 6 days out of the week, I think I could do that. But like, I think I could, but I don't know if I would want to at this point in my life, because I'm kind of more on like, I like going out and experiencing life a little bit here and there, even though I don't do it much, you know? You can ask Chucky. She'll be like, yeah, he doesn't get out of the house. But like, I do like doing that. But I think I could. I think I have the stamina because of how many 8 to 12 hour streams I hit, not even like trying. A split tongue, bro. You crazy with it, man. I can never do that. Oh, I don't know if you could. I feel like it takes one song comp and the whole thing. See, that's why I said play whatever I want. Do whatever I want, right? If I could play and do whatever I want and I had so many chatters asking me so many random different things for me to do, I'd be like, no, we're not going to do song comp. No, that's a horrible idea. I would hate that. No, we're not going to do Gartic phone. No, we're not going to play Among Us in a Discord call where you all are going to argue with each other and make it unbearable for me. No, we're not going to play Roblox Doors with viewers. No. Right? If I could just play my little indie games, play my, like, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2s and, you know, Bioshock Infinite and, like, all those type of games that I love and do my little reacts. Oh, brother. Get me in there. I'm doing 18-hour days. Chris, you were saying play whatever you want. Like, it's something you can't do. It's your stream. Yeah, I know, but I hate to, you know, I have like a, you know, a little group of people that support me so much, so I feel like I gotta give back to them. Oh, that's so gay. Let me go suck a dick. That'd be less gay than saying that right there. Oh my God. Let's continue with the video.
Dude, I do like a 5-6 hour stream. I want to sleep for 2 days. In the first...
Compromise on Red Dead Online? Honestly, I could be down for that. Sorry, let me go back here since I paused instantly after unpausing. Well, they can pull up their big boy pants. Yeah, after the subathon, I might start being like, guys, no, I'm sorry. Love you so much. No. And I've already done with that with Jackbox games, so maybe I just have to, you know. I actually don't mind Among Us. It's just like when people take it too seriously, it starts to piss me off. Like, I would totally do Among Us like once a week for an hour. And same with the Roblox Doors, honestly, for like an hour once a week. Which I do want to start to try and plan maybe community night and be like, yeah, I'm going to play like this game for an hour and whoever wants to join can join. Anywho, let's continue because I really have to pee.
Expected, dude. I do like a
I don't want to take a break.
6 hour stream. I want to sleep for 2 days. In the first video he put out,
that is real though.
Stop Killing Games. He basically outlines his reasons for not supporting the initiative. I do want to give context here as well. This is a very old video. This came out around 9 months ago. I'm obviously not trying to dig up any old drama here. The reason why I'm talking about it is because Accursed Farms only actually responded to this 9-month-old video pretty recently, a couple of days ago, but we will get into that. Basically, his main argument points are, first of all, this is the way the industry works, and it's a standard practice to shut games down after an X amount of years.
On March 31st, 2024, Ubisoft shut down the game's servers, rendering the game unplayable, which is normal for live service games. The only thing that I can see in here that could be a problem is if they posted as...
So, we just want to keep up the norm, even if it's bad? Guys, public executions for stealing 3 shillings are the norm. Oh my gosh. You want to change that? You think we shouldn't kill someone for taking some shilling? No. Guys, running water? That sounds like something a demonic presence would do. No running water for us. That's too complex. Racism was the norm in the 1940s. Bro, racism was the norm, you know. I mean, in some places, it's still the norm, baby. But no, dude, yeah, literally. guys, never mind. I could get into some Asmongold ass waters here, but literally, no, I don't think the fact that it's the norm should be what we justify things as.
Is not
Or justify things, being the standard, or what we hold people accountable to.
online only experience. But everything that I found online shows that the game was always marketed as online only. If you're going to be buying an online only game, that means it can only run when it's online.
I mean, yeah, this is a great actually statement, right? This is the guy that if you say he's gonna add he's gonna be like, I don't even know what to call it. See, I'm dumb, so don't take my opinion too closely. But he's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, yo, brother, shut up. Yo, shut up. You're literally a dork. You're literally a dork. Shut up. Shut up. The type of dude that's like, oh, I'll be back in a minute. And then he's like, you took a minute and 37 seconds. I'd be like, holy fuck. Literally never talk to me again. You are a dork. You are a dorkosaurus, brother. Holy shit, I thought dinosaurs were extinct. No, turns out dorkosaurus, not extinct, bro. I'm looking at him. Are you kidding me? I am the grammar person. Sorry. No, it's okay, Lane, because you're not annoying. You're not doing... It's like, we have a couple of people in chat who does that, okay? Every now and then I'll be like, hey, chillax, okay? If it's with the regulars, though, go for it, dude. If it's me especially, correct me. I mean, listen, yes, games can't stay online forever, but we got to figure out a way to fix issues. Yeah, dude. Well, here, let me give you guys let me give the gaming industry a little fix. If you're gonna charge money for the game, make there be a function that's offline from the start of the game. If you're gonna charge money where I don't need an update to get into the offline version, right? Because if you take it offline where it's not a thing anymore, right? So don't make there be an offline version that doesn't need a patch or anything on launch if you're gonna charge money for a game. Okay? Cool. There you go. There's your fix. If you want to do the fucking Valorant, Fortnite, Overwatch 2, Battle Pass, skins, whatever, and make the game free and then take it offline if it doesn't do well, honestly, fair. That's fair game, dude. You never know. And you want to put it in the little, whatever thing you got to accept, like this game may shut down, whatever, right? Okay, fair. You warned the people, right? It was a free game. But if it's a $60 game, right? Or we're getting to the point where it's like $70, $80, $90 a game, and you're going to shut these down within, 6 to 10 years like this, right? When did this game come out? Where does it say? The game shipped 2 million units January 1st, 2015. When shut down servers on March 31st, 2024? 9 years? What? 9 years? No, almost 10 years. No. Hold on. I'm having an aneurysm right now. Yeah, 9 years. Right? Because January 1st to March. So, a little more than 9 years. 9 years after the fact, make there be a single player element, dude. Don't charge $60. Or don't charge $60, $20, $30. Low-key, some devs really just commit to having servers online. Like, there are still PSP and PS3 games that are online, and PS Vita. Yeah, dude. Literally.
And if the servers need to shut down in the future, far in the future, it makes sense to me for the access to that game to be cut, if it's online only.
Secondly, he basically says it's too expensive to expect companies to be able to keep servers up and running forever.
And there are some people that'll say, well, just make it all single player. Well, I've explained that doesn't make any sense in the first place. If you're making it all single...
I've explained that it doesn't make any sense in the first place, you imbeciles. Oh my god, bro. I went from being like a Pirate Software dick rider to a Pirate Software hater. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I used to fuck heavy with Pirate Software, and now I'm like, it's like my third eye was awoken. It's like, oh, this guy like literally cannot accept own up to things, or take accountability, and also he has to make a good majority of people sound like an idiot, or whatever. One up people all the time and be constantly trying to seem like a genius. The Penguin Worshipper? Oh my god, bro. How have you been, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. It's been a minute, brother. See, I warned you. Yeah, dude. You were there trying to open my third eye. You're trying to jam it open for me, man.
Player, you'd have to carve off all of that, and it's developer time and money. When you already have sequels out and the game has basically
it's developer time and money, the bajillion-dollar company. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime that you're on the side of the billion-dollar company, I'm gonna say pretty confidently 8 times out of 10 or 9 times out of 10, you're a dork. You're an absolute dork. You're a loser. Okay. There's the one time, dude, where you got, okay, all right, dude, all right. Literally the other day, motherfucker was saying, oh, Spotify doesn't pay the artist. Okay, yes, you're right. They pay absolute ass. They pay absolute ass, but don't act like the band with 2 million monthly listeners is not making at least some money off of Spotify, right? Don't act like they aren't making at least a good chunk of change off of their songs with 10 plus million streams, dude. Don't act like they aren't making something off of that. Don't straight up just completely lie, okay? That's in bad faith. I've been good. How have you been? Dude, I've been amazing. I really can't complain at all. Well, I can complain a little. I got my wisdom tooth on the backside of my mouth coming in right now. It kind of hurts like a bitch, but, we balled, dude. We ball. I said I was doing a subathon. Here we are, baby. But, Penguin Worshiper, thank you for stopping back in, bro. What's new in life, brother? Also, fair warning, it may take me a little while to reply. I sort of I'm reading all of chat. I just only will reply after I take a pause from the video, and I'm trying not to pause so much. Yeah, bro, they pay some stuff. I made like 3 cents off of 3,000 streams. Yeah, there you go. No, but I genuinely, I think, unless I'm tripping here, the actual number is $4,000 to $8,000, which again, it's not good. It's not good, and it is ass, but it's $4,000 to $8,000 per million streams, right? So again, if you have 2 million monthlies, bro, I'm sorry if your label's fucking you over or whatever. But yeah, dude.
Players left anyway, it makes more sense to just move on. I don't find that to be a problem from the developer perspective, and I understand that people find that to be a problem from the player perspective.
But there is also a point as well that tries to contradict this
on
the Stop Killing Games website. No, we are not asking that at all, that being running games indefinitely. We're in favor of publishers ending support for a game whenever they choose. What we are asking is that they implement an end-of-life plan to modify or patch the game so that it is run on customer systems with no further support from the company being necessary. They then list the number of games that have implemented this, like for example Gran Turismo Sport, Mega Man X Drive, Caller's Bane, showing that it is possible for companies to do this. And thirdly, Pirate Software claims that this will basically hurt companies in the long run. Developers will basically stop making live service games if they have—
Dude, literally, what's the fucking shitty game that got the Bethesda owned company shut down? Redfall? They literally did that. Their company was literally in the middle of getting shut down, and they're like, yeah, we'll make a patch so you can play it offline. If a company that is literally actively being shut down, people are packing up their fucking boxes, can make a patch so that people can play their game offline, I think a fucking bajillion-dollar company, billion-dollar company, before a Pirate Software type build comes in here, is like, well, they actually aren't worth a bajillion, nobody's worth $1 billion. A billion-dollar company like EA or Ubisoft can implement an end-of-life plan for their games, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
Have to bend the knee to these changes.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them. And we're going to miss out on adventures like Final Fantasy XIV. And even though I don't play anymore, League of Legends, or any other live service game.
But also, if you go onto the Stop Killing Games website, this is something they've tried to address as well. The regulations we are seeking would only apply when companies decide to end support for games. At that time, they would need to be converted to have either offline or private hosting modes. Until then, companies can continue running games any way they see fit. And in response to the question of money, Stop Killing Games also says this: the costs associated with implementing this requirement can be very small, if not trivial. Furthermore, it often takes a company with large resources at its disposal to even construct games of this nature in the first place. Small developers with constrained budgets are less likely to be contributing to this problem. So again, this was a very old video that Pirate Software put out like 9 months ago. It obviously got a bit of traction at the time, but then as the internet is the internet, everyone just basically forgets after a week. 9 months after this entire ordeal went down, Accursed Farms actually commented on the situation involving Pirate Software in a recent live stream. And you can tell from his tone of voice and his energy compared to other announcement videos, you can tell it's taken a toll on him. Like, he is just not happy. Now, what Accursed Farms is accusing Pirate Software of doing here—
me after uploading like 3 reacts that do well, and then I have motherfuckers like Pirate Software builds like in my comment section like, actually, that's not exactly what Asmongold said.
is apparently just flat out lying. That being about the nature of Stop Killing Games in order to put his own point across. So Accursed Farms actually believes that Pirate Software recognized that he couldn't lie about the contents of the movement, since he believes that they were pretty black and white with the way that they outlined everything, even having a whole website with a dedicated FAQ section stating their demands. So according to Accursed Farms, apparently Pirate Software twisted the premise of Stop Killing Games from games should have an end-of-life plan, changing that to every company needs to keep all their servers up indefinitely, or they'll be breaking the law.
We just want there to be prohibit publishers from disabling a game that you paid for. And this would be making end-of-life plans mandatory for games that require it. That's it. So there's no like wiggle room on like, well, I'm for this, but against this, and then your alternative won't save any games.
So it seems that Accursed Farms thinks that Pirate Software is pulling a bit of a straw man here, not really being accurate with the arguments and making up his own points to basically make it easier to win in a debate. So Accursed Farms claims again...
Yeah, it kind of seems bad faith type beat. Like, just like literally... what's the word I'm looking for here? Doing like hyperbole just to muddy the waters so that his point can be correct. Pretty much exactly what Pyrocynical just said.
And that Pirate Software apparently just completely made up that Stop Killing Games was about saving single-player games that have a multiplayer attached to them.
Pirate Software, I'm thinking again. I think part of him realized he couldn't change what was written in the documents. If he didn't report what was in the actual initiative itself, somebody would see that and then he would get called out on it. So what he did is he changed what we were saying the initiative is about. And he completely made up saying that it was about trying to protect single-player games. That was made up. We never brought that up anywhere. In fact, we had to add that in afterwards.
And Ross also goes on to say that this was a much smaller reason than why Stop Killing Games was set up in the first place. The majority of games that are multiplayer and single-player that shut down their servers, you do still have the option to play them in single-player. Like, for example, Far Cry 3. The servers have been shut down a long time ago. And that sucks. The multiplayer was fun. I especially like the part where if you got MVP, you could do like a funny taunt to the MVP of the enemy team.
Hurry up!
What?
Let's play!
Oh!
But yeah, those servers shut down in 2022, but you can still play the campaign for yourself. I mean, my Fat Cry 3 video, like that, if they shut down the entire game, if the single player was online only, Fat Cry 3 on my main channel, that would never exist as a video. Now, at the time, a lot of people tried to accuse Pirate Software of basically trying to dilute the real movement that Accursed Farms was trying to lead. And also as well, Pirate Software has around 3 million subscribers, which is a huge amount. And Ross, on the other hand, has under 400,000 subscribers. So it's obvious that Pirate Software has a lot more reach, a lot more like clout. But at the same time, like, to be devil's advocate, is that really his fault? He couldn't really, you know, like take away his own subscribers to make the playing field more even. It just feels like a bit of a mute point to me. But Accursed Farms also goes on to say that he tried to reach out to Pirate Software for a dialogue, but he was ignored on multiple occasions.
And then, of course, refuses to talk to me and then deletes the video.
Softly, feel free to throw it in the promote yourself section of our Discord, brother.
Where he says he refused to talk to me and deletes my comment. Yeah, and then he's a much bigger streamer and YouTuber.
Wait, he deleted his comment? Wait, hold on. Let me go back here.
Refuses to talk to me and then deletes the video where he says he refused to talk to me and deletes my comment. Yeah, and then he's a much bigger streamer and YouTuber, so I could only do so much against that. So that is an advanced tactic that he pulled.
But I do want to say as well, apart from Accursed Farms' word, we don't actually have any proof of this. It's basically just what he's saying. I mean, one point he's talking about as well, about his comments being deleted. I'm not sure if those are YouTube comments, but YouTube comments are the most unreliable comment system in the entire world.
No. TikTok comments. No. Sorry, Pyro. I agree with you for the most part, right? I disagree with the fact that it's the worst or the most unreliable. TikTok is the most unreliable, bro. Do you know how many? I could be like, damn, that's dumb, bro. Harassment and bullying. We'll have to review it. We'll have to take a review. Literally, like, dead ass. Those type of comments. One time I was like, dang, bro, I need to get on whatever you're on. Reviewed for harassment and bullying. Yo, what's up, Diamond? How's it going, brother? How have you been, man?
Unless someone plucks out your comment and pins it to the top of the page, your comment will be buried. That's one of the reasons.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Why.
Oh, sorry, he meant like just like how they fill up. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Sorry.
I stopped commenting on.
I thought he was talking about like it getting like auto modded or like deleted by YouTube, because people will say that shit all the time to me. Like, did you remove my comment? No, trust brother. I would not remove the engagement. Actually, no, I might start removing, like if they're just like genuinely like totally hateful. Like if it's not like criticism, it's just like straight up like, you fucking suck, then maybe. But I have never deleted a comment until very, very recently. And it was like just something like crazy, like out of pocket, like comment. I was like, okay, dude, you're wildin'.
On YouTube videos, because there's no point. Like if I comment on a video, I'll probably get 1 like and then 5 replies telling me to piss off. Like I just gave up doing that. So what's the moral of this video? Don't play AAA games where they might shut down the servers after 5 years or make a sequel every year. Play indie games.
Right.
For example, a very family-friendly game that I'm playing through right now called White Knuckle.
No. I couldn't do it.
Don't shut the fucking door. I can't get a grip. Man, dead game. DOA, dead on arrival, dead game.
Dude, yeah, White Knuckle looks insane, bro. I played the demo. That shit was gas, but I was horrible at it. Let's see what these motherfuckers got to say. Oh, also, Josh. Sleep well, brother. Love and appreciate you, dude. I will hopefully see you tomorrow sometime. Hopefully if my internet withholds. Or not withholds. Withstains. I got you a second, Jay. I got you. Pyro, there's a mistake in your video. I can't find where you explain what a pirate is for 21 hours. Yeah, dude, what the hell? I'm Ross, the other guy in the video. You're 100% correct about YouTube comments being difficult to communicate in, since all my other attempts to comment here didn't make it through the auto filters. I swear if I type more than 3 sentences, the system flags me. So I went and made a paste bin of what I was going to write if you want my side of things. A paste bin? Talk to her. You're kidding me right now, bro. There's no way. I must either be yunk or unk on why I don't know what the fuck a paste bin is. Companies stop making live service games will miss out on League of Legends. Dude just made the single best cause for axing live service games forever. Oh my god, bro. That's crazy. They're saying live, that he's twisted what they said to be like, we don't want any live service games. I think you're just dumb. That's definitely a possibility. Oh yeah. If your internet keeps acting up, you're just gonna need to move it to Discord for real, for real. It's a website. Pastebin is what I use for Nightbot's responses when you say its name. Oh, dude, see, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I don't wanna take a break from this react and have to do a cut, okay, go in and find the cut, and I didn't have to pee so bad, then we would do the paste bin. But I have a feeling that's gonna be a yap fest. Purple my goat. Yo, Gala!
Tell the babies more woozy face, woozy face, woozy face.
To the babies what?
Woozy face, woozy face, woozy
Gala, thank you so freaking much. JK, more unaware. Oh, Born. Oops. Gala, how's it going, goat? How's it going, brother? The crew already has an offline mode programmed into the game. Ubisoft just has to turn off online and enable offline as the sole mode, and people can still play it. That's the main thing Pirate Software ignored. He went on and on about how much an offline mode would cost to make, ignoring the fact that crew already had one made that's been in game since launch. Thus, his argument is null and void. Heck, this information was brought up against Pirate Software months ago, and he still ignored it. Yeah, it sounds kind of like he just like ignores anything that like goes against what he has to say, and he can't take accountability for being wrong, which is problematic. I really want to try and always be, or at least try to always take into account like new information and, you know, be willing to say that, oh yeah, I was wrong. My bad, dude. For those who don't want to watch the slop. Dude, what? Bro, why are motherfuckers so... Are you motherfuckers so brain broken that you can't watch a 22-minute video about what's going on? I like the fact that bro took 14 minutes to explain everything going on. Starts talking about Pirate Software at 1450. He literally explained the whole point. See, this just shows the fact that you cannot make everyone happy. He literally goes through and breaks down the whole lore of why this is happening, the full story, explains it so that even us dumbasses can understand. And motherfuckers are like, why isn't he talking about the lore? Why is he talking about the topic of the video? Why is it topic of the video? Why is it this top? Why is it not that? Dude, shut up. Just watch the fucking video. Why you gotta bitch about everything? Why do you gotta feel like you're such a main character that you literally have to comment on something like that? Me? You'll never hear me giving my opinion or feeling like or trying to make myself feel like the main character if I am not at the possibility of either gaining a Twitch viewer or gaining money. Do you raid like streamers? Yes. Can you check the game before I sleep? No. I'm not watching. I'm not gonna play the game that's sussy. Why the fuck are people watching informational videos and complaining about obtaining information? Exactly!